The drowning death of a fisherman in Fort Morgan raises many questions about safety.
Yeah, Fox 10 News has identified some potentially dangerous issues at Fort Morgan State Park. Baldwin County reporter Matt Barentine is asking what could have been done to prevent another tragedy.
B.J. Johnson's body was found Monday in just a few feet of water less than 100 feet off the pier at Fort Morgan State Park. Yet he couldn't save himself. Dive team captain Melvin Shepard says the water may be shallow, but it's treacherous.
There's two old barges that lay underneath the pier, so there's a lot of metal and wood that is just jagged and sticking out.
When Johnson fell off the pier Friday night, it was very dark. There's not a single light on the pier. The closest one is in the parking lot. Another factor that night was the weather. There have been some strong storms during the day on Friday, and when Johnson was out here fishing later that night, the winds were still gusting over 20 knots. So these waters, which are calm now, were then very rough. But none of that may have come into play if the pier had a railing.
Your rod goes in the holder there, reach over to get it, very easy to go over.
The lack of a railing is keeping Jason Davis from bringing his young sons with him to fish the pier.
Now that I've been here, I'd be a little more cautious about bringing them out because there is a lot of places to tip over the side.
The reason why there's no railings on the pier is really at the request of local fishermen who like to use this pier for net casting. They also use it with crab traps, and they found that a railing would be obtrusive to using it for the type of activities that they want to use the pier for.
Stephen McNair with the Alabama Historic Commission says after what happened this weekend, they're discussing what could be done to make the pier safer.
I think whenever you have a tragedy such as this, you have to reevaluate and see if there's anything that we can do now to prevent this kind of accident in the future.
McNair told us if the state decides to add railing, it would have to wait until the next year's budget. In the meantime, the pier will stay open with just a couple of signs urging people to be cautious. At Fort Morgan State Park, Matt Barentine, Fox 10 News.
Johnson's body was taken to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences in Mobile for an autopsy.
The attorney who